1973, there were 27 songs that reached number one on the Billboard Hot 100 list. 1973 was also the year of the OPEC oil embargo. This brought us gasoline shortages, long lines, higher prices. I mean, gas at the end of 73 was a whopping 55 cents a gallon. That meant we took fewer trips. It meant some others took gas from other people's gas tanks. Enter the mainstream vocabulary, siphoning. Remember that? Siphoning? That required a rubber tube and suction. Many times that suction came from someone using their mouth. In 1973, this was starting to be the beginning of the end for me as far as AM radio goes and a focus just on pop music. Pop music in 73, it just kind of got a little bit weird. And I was transitioning over to FM and some deeper album cuts, like Grand Funk Railroad, Jethro Tull come to mind. Here are my top 10 number one hits from 1973 as I would rank them today. Starting off with You're So Vain by Carly Simon. There's a lot of questions about who that was about. Apparently it's about three different men and not just one. Superstition comes in at number 9 by Stevie Wonder. This was his second number one hit. His first was a decade earlier. That was back in 63 with the song Fingertips. Elton John's first number one hit in the U.S. comes in at number 8 on my list. Of course, the name of that song is Crocodile Rock. Tie a yellow ribbon round the old oak tree. I almost started singing it. Dawn featuring Tony Orlando. This song was based upon American folklore, not a specific incident, much to the chagrin of Pete Hamill, a New York Post columnist who claimed that these song lyrics came from a story he wrote about a true incident. That wasn't the case. Number 6, it's the group The Carpenters, Top of the World. This is one of my girlfriend Holly's favorite songs, hence it's one of mine. We are halfway through our list of my top 10 number one songs from 1973. What songs would be on your list? Let me know in the comments. Before we get to the top 5 songs, I just got to say, I'm going to go a little bit off track here. In my opinion, 1973 was not a great year for number one songs. Candidly, I struggled to come up with 10 to be on my list of my top 10 number ones from that year. But let's get back to the list with those in the top 5. Again, this was songs from 73 as I would rank them today. The Most Beautiful Girl. This was by Charlie Rich. This got a ton of AM radio airplay back where I was raised. That was in a small farming community in Western Ohio. And it's a good example of country's presence on the Hot 100 list. Bad, Bad Leroy Brown. You even finished the lyric, didn't you? Bad, Bad Leroy Brown, baddest man in the whole damn town. Of course, that's by Jim Croce. Let's Get It On. Marvin Gaye. This one comes in at number 3 on my list. I was still relatively young in 73, but I was old enough to know what Get It On was all about. In 1974, Roberta Flack came out with a song that was a little bit more direct, Feel Like Making Love. And 1 year later in 1975, Bad Company, different song, when they came out with their version of Feel Like Making Love. We've only got 2 more songs left for my top 10 number one hit songs from the year 73. Helen Reddy comes in at number 2. Delta Dawn. This was also a country hit by Tanya Tucker. And then my number one song of the number ones from 1973, it's Grand Funk Railroad. Easily going away. We're an American band. I opened the segment by saying I started to transition from AM to FM. This song illustrates that. There you have it, my top 10 number one hits from 1973. If you don't agree with my picks, let me know yours in the comments. Also, push that like and subscribe button. And check out my other videos on this channel, including Tripping Up with Trip Rogers. This is a 60s, 70s pop music trivia show. Thanks again for checking out this list of my top 10 number one hits from 1973.